everyone, welcome back to another episode of the FRA Radio.
Today we're going to be talking about our work placement. So if you don't already know, as part of the Level 3 Fashion Retail course, in your second year you get a work placement, or you can choose between a UCAS pathway as well, but we both chose the work placement. And where did you go?
So I was placed at Brand Alley, which is like a designer outlet store. So I was with their accessories team and I had a buyer's admin assistant role. And yeah, what about you?
I was with Anthropologie, which are like a bit more of like a higher end brand, I'd say, like not mid luxury, but yeah, they've got like higher price points. And I was in the women's wear team, but they also do like homeware and stuff, so I did a bit of that. And I was mainly with like pajamas, outerwear, and denim. I'd say those were like my main areas.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. What days were you in the office?
So I was in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Monday and Friday were online.
Oh, same.
It wasn't really like a Teams call or anything. It was more just they'd send me an email and be like, we need you to do this, and then I'd do it.
Yeah, that was the same as me. I was the 3 days and then 2 days.
It was quite nice, to be honest, because I was like, I don't want to go in 5 days a week and I have to travel up to London every day. It's a long day.
And Monday and Friday was perfect. It's like a 4-day week.
Yeah, it was a nice weekend.
But I just had to like follow up on tasks I did before. And it was quite easy because especially after like the second week, I knew what I was doing. So I just
that was the same with me. On the first week, I was like, oh God, this is really like a new environment, new people. And I was so scared to talk to the people. I don't know why. I think it's just because you assume that they're going to be like really scary.
Yeah, and we've never done anything like this before, so we don't know what to expect.
Yeah, like obviously we both have jobs outside of college.
Yeah.
But it's just very different.
Especially as an intern, it's very daunting. Yeah, but were you happy with it overall?
Yeah, by the end of it, it was really good. It was just the first week I was very scared. But then as soon as I was in, I met everyone. It was fun.
That was the same thing. I wasn't scared. I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be like doing. But then after like the first like hour, I was completely fine. I met the whole team and it was amazing.
Yeah. So on your first day when you went in, what did you kind of do? Like, what did you start with? Did you get like a tour of the building, anything like that?
Okay, so on my first day, I came in, I got introduced to the assistant buyer and I met the rest of the team. I had a nice talk with them to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. I had a little tour around the building, but it was part of an office.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like yours where it was like a big building.
Yeah.
I just had like a little there's the kitchen.
That was mine. It was like, because they're owned by Urban, so that's Urban Outfitters and Free People. And I think there's some other brands as well, but I didn't really know a lot about them. Those were the main ones. So one of the floors, there was like the reception floor, downstairs was like the cafe area, and then they all had like their separate floors. So I never really went into the Urban bit except from when I was like on the tour when I came in, but the office was so nice. It was like just clothes everywhere. It was so nice. And
fashion student's dream.
Exactly, it literally was. And I got a tour of the building just by one of the like HR people, and then I waited downstairs until my person came to collect me. And then I met the team and they were all really nice. And what was yours like?
They were really nice. It was a smaller team because it was only the accessories department. I just met them, and then when I started I got introduced to a task called segmenting. So on a website, you know how you have like the rows of things? I basically had to do that. So because I was in accessories, I do like
do you mean like the product page?
I do like a row of hats, a row of like bracelets, a row of scarves. So that was really fun to do, and at first it was a bit like
oh my God,
confusing because it was on a different system. But after like the first day, I was fine. I flew through it.
That was same with me kind of. On the first day, they were like, actually the first day was fine because they told me to do like trend research, and then with that trend research, I had to present it to the team.
And that's stuff we do at college anyway.
Exactly. So I knew how to do that because I've obviously been taught that at college, and it was just like loads of collages. It was quite fun. It was like creative. And then a couple days in, they were like, oh, we want you to do like this Excel velocity check.
Oh,
and I've never used Excel before. Well, I've used it a couple of times, but I'm really bad at it. And I knew with the buying and merchandising role that they literally use Excel all the time. So I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But then it was fine because they taught me. And it looks really confusing.
It does,
it's simple. It's not too hard.
I done a bit of Excel work as well. It was preset, but I had to add everything to it. And it's really good that we both learned that because a lot of jobs ask for that, especially because we both want to go into buy-in. A lot of jobs say Excel skills needed.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't really learn that anywhere else.
Yeah, so, definitely. I feel like with the level 3, what we're doing. We've learned about like range plans, we've learned about critical path, we've learned about most of the things that you do, but the Excel bit we've never really touched on. So
and even the systems they use.
The systems as well. Like it was just it was a lot.
Their whole brand was on a system because it was online only for me. Their whole like brand was on this system.
Yeah, exactly. And when I look at like their computers, it was just like loads of spreadsheets and stuff.
And the people in my one had like 2 laptops, so it was like a big Excel and a big system. It looked really confusing when I came in, but then at the end I was like, they tried to set
me up on one, and I was like, I can't use that. I don't know how to use it. But that was really good. So as it went on, like the next couple of days, like what else did you do?
So I was not in charge, but I got placed with another task, which was quite nice to be away from the screen.
Yeah.
So I had to look through loads of like Vogue magazines and like their competitors and see what they were naming their sales. So because Brand Alley, they do like flash sales, they needed obviously names for them. So I looked through, like I looked at John Lewis, I looked at
all the department stores.
Yeah, all the department stores and like even their Instagrams and see what they were naming things. And I wrote down like a nice list, especially even with like my own ideas added. So I worked on that whenever I didn't have anything to do really. And then on like the last week, I think it was, I like presented my ideas.
That's
and
so fun.
and then the next week they actually used some of them. So that was really cool to see.
Good. Yeah, because it's like you put your own ideas,
my little ideas
brand.
In there.
For mine, it was like, I did a bit of the trend research, and then as the days went on, every Wednesday they had like a fit sample meeting with a model, and I got to sit in it and watch them like try on the clothes. And then the garment tech, who was really nice, he like, because I was there every single Wednesday doing that, like we actually, I got
on well,
and he would basically like, so she'd stand there and then he would have to say, oh, we need to bring that in 2 inches, we need to bring that in, like it's too short, it's too long. I thought that was really cool because again, it's something we don't see, because that's like the design course, we don't really see that kind of stuff, and I just thought it's kind of cool to watch him.
And they do go like hand in hand.
Exactly, and
well.
he knew exactly, like he could literally just look at it and go, that needs to be 1 centimetre up, or that needs to be. I was like, how was he doing that? I don't get it.
Did you like pick up on any of them things as the week went on, or were you just
once the first week, again, when I was sitting in that kind of meeting thing, I was really scared to speak up. But then like once it was my final week, the 3rd week, and I was watching him do it, I was like, oh, I agree with it. I kind of put in my own insight. But that was just really cool.
I was like that as well. I was really scared to like speak up, but I feel like you have to like kind of like grow your confidence. Like I was a bit like, oh, I don't really know. But then I was like asking them questions, even if it was like, how do you do this again?
Exactly.
Once I asked it again, I flew through it, and then they were like asking me many questions, and I was even asking them about like, oh, did you go to uni? Like why like what brought you to this role?
It's good to know how they've got into that role, because if that's something you might want to do in the future, or like just so you can see what kind of like if they did a degree or if they did a level 4 or like an apprenticeship.
Like a lot of ours, like one of them went to Cardiff for uni, one of them didn't go to uni, so it was quite nice to see like
the
different paths and how they all ended up there.
Definitely. I mean, most of mine did like level 4s or did uni, and then or some of them even do like work placements there and then got the job.
Did they get work placements from FRA, or was it
quite a lot of them got work placements from FRA. But it was just really cool, and I was so scared, like you were saying, I was so scared to like ask questions and stuff, but they were really nice, and I was even scared, like on the first couple of days I sat by myself for lunch because I was so scared, but then they saw me sitting by myself and they're like, you can come sit with us, and then I sat with them for the next 2 weeks, and they were literally just telling me like everything about their job and stuff, and
it's nice that you like sat with them as well, like to have that. Okay, so what was like a highlight of your work placement?
My highlights were probably, they had a huge sample sale on my final week, because my mum was saying to me like, if you get any freebies, because obviously buying merchandising, they have a lot of samples and stuff, so she was like, if you get any freebies, like try get them. So they had a sample sale, so that was really fun because I got to pick up loads of stuff. And then I also enjoyed organising the sample cupboard, again just because of all the clothes, it was so cool. And then definitely presenting my ideas to the team, because I got loads of like, oh, well done afterwards, so it was nice that they like appreciated my work, if that makes sense. What about you?
I think a highlight was just like shadowing. Like, I know it sounds so like random, but like they had like their quarter-4 like massive meeting, so it's really interesting to sit in on that. So I got to sit in on a lot of meetings and like even like put a few of my ideas in from like an outsider's perspective. So it's really interesting to see like that kind of environment, because obviously like an office environment, you'd expect like meetings and independent work. So it was quite nice to see both sides of it.
Yeah, mine was very like collaborative, if that's the right word. Like it was a lot of group work. Like they had sofas in the office and they'd be like, oh, you know, we're going to have a meeting. Do you want to come sit down with us? And it would just be like on a sofa. It wouldn't be like a proper, you know, corporate meeting. It was just very like group work, like teamwork. And even like they had like a photo studio where they take all the photos for their like social media and for their website. And again, that was just really nice because it was like, it wasn't like it was like a scary work environment. They were all really chatty.
Yeah.
And that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you want to do this kind of pathway in the future? Like, does this interest you or?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely want to do buying, especially after doing my placement. I always knew that I'd be interested in buying, but now I know that I definitely want to do buying. I want to go to university and do buying. But I feel like because mine was like a third party, I would like to do more in-house work because I like the buying side of it, but I feel like an in-house buying job would be much suited for me.
Yeah, no, with Anthropologie, they have their own brand, which is like by Anthropologie. And they also have independent brands like Damson Madder and like, I can't remember all the names.
Yeah.
They have so many. So
don't they have Forth and Reckless as well?
Yeah, they have Forth and Reckless. They have so many brands. So I think I more like the side of like the independent kind of like in-house stuff. But I did actually like one of the friends I made when I was there, she did all the brand stuff. And I thought that was quite interesting as well because she was going back and forth with the brand saying like what they like, what they don't like.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'd really like to work at like a brand like that where it's quite social and chatty and it's, a bit
more like casual. It's nice that you've done like a nice mix of both kind of buying styles.
I think I'd like to start like with a brand like Anthropologie or any other brand like that and then like maybe progress further.
Yeah, definitely. So do you have any advice for future students who are going to do a placement at all? Or?
My advice would just be don't be scared.
Yeah.
That's like, obviously you're going to be scared, but they're really not scary at all. Like they're all really nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Just make sure if you have questions and stuff, don't be afraid to ask them because you're there like to speak to them and to understand their jobs. And also if you're like have nothing to do, because there was a couple times where I'd finished it but they were all getting on with their work and I didn't want to interrupt them. If you've got nothing to do, just go over and say, oh, I've done that, like do you want me to do anything else? Because again, they probably need you to do something. So again, just don't be scared to go up to them and ask.
I think following on from you, I think don't be like scared because they know how you feel. Like they probably interned once before and know how like daunting it is. So they're not going to be like, oh no, the devil wears Prada and like be really scary like that. So I think that'd be like really good to remember when you're going into it. Like they know how you feel. And I think just like put yourself out there, like get their LinkedIns, ask them if there's any like thing you need them to do, whether it's like a really bad like.
One important thing I feel like is really good. Obviously, say thank you when you finish and say you really enjoyed it. But I followed up with an email afterwards just to say thank you again. So it's like, because otherwise you're never probably going to talk to them again. So it's nice just to follow up with an email and say thanks so much. If you need anyone to do more experience, I'm here. Because then it still keeps you at the front of their mind because they probably have so many things going on. But that's like
I think definitely have the connections because if you, I don't know, like in a year or two's time, you want a job, you have that connection. They know how you work. Like it's all well and good having an interview, but these people know how you work. So even though you were like, I don't know, 17 at the time, it'd be really good to like have that connection and make a good lasting impression. Like no matter how it is, like even if you just like ask them how their day was.
Exactly. It's just nice
be
to
a bit
that.
more like show your personality a little bit. But so that wraps up our episode on the podcast.
We hope you enjoyed.
Bye.